The overall impact on the real estate sector, in my view, was probably neutral. The government did announce some business taxation measures which will ultimately feed into the market, but my view of the impact will be, as I said, benign to neutral. Pleasingly, as a departure from previous government's tactics in relation to introduction of changes to taxation regimes, where I think the real estate industry had been rather unfairly singled out, last night's budget really heralded some changes which were really already the subject of pre-budget announcements and consultation with the real estate industry. So, as an example of that, of course, the changes to thin capitalisation rules, which were mooted already for some time, are already the subject of consultation. They will be introduced, so the industry was well prepared and to actually accept those and get itself set. On the positive side, we did see the government announce that it will defer changes to the managed investment trust regime. So people might recall that the managed investment trust regime was introduced by the previous government as a concessionary rate of withholding tax for foreign investors entering the Australian real estate market. Interestingly, the government had in recent months been in dialogue with the industry about actually improving the regime by removing some uncertainty around the qualification of certain investors and indeed removing red tape. The government last night announced it will defer changes for a further 12 months, which will actually allow for a further period of consultation with the industry, so that's actually welcome news. On the downside, I would say that the government's announcement about scrapping the National Housing Rental Affordability Scheme will come as a disappointment to the industry. Introduced by the previous government as a measure to encourage and indeed incentivise the private sector investment in making available land for affordable housing and to assist low-income earners was actually welcomed, and indeed with the government now scrapping that will indeed signal perhaps an end to the government's commitment to addressing this issue, particularly in markets like Sydney.